Scottish castles, battlefields and coastlines all feature in Outlander. And with Season 5 just round the corner, I thought it would be a great time for me to tell you about all the Outlander filming locations that you will see on the show that you can visit right now in Scotland. That's coming right up after this. Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to today's episode of the vlog. My name is Shaun and I'm a YouTuber from Edinburgh in Scotland, and in today's episode I am talking all about Outlander because it has made such a fantastic difference to Scotland, to Scotland's tourism boom, to learning about our cultural history and story and what it means for Scotland going forward, and what it meant for the Scottish people who had to move away from Scotland back a couple of hundred years ago, the Jacobite movement, all those kind of great things. Outlander has been incredible for Scotland and I am a big fan. First of all, I want to say welcome to everybody. Thank you so much for joining in with my videos, and if you're new here, please don't forget to hit the red subscribe button down below. Join the fun and games. Join the adventures, and today is an adventure because I'm going to tell you about all the places in Outlander that have been in the show that you can actually visit if you come to Scotland. And I know that a lot of Outlander fans have been coming to Scotland to visit all the locations. A lot of the main sites that were in Outlander are up like hundreds of % in tourist numbers. Edinburgh's airport is probably the fastest growing in the UK, and a lot of that is down to Outlander. It has been such a great thing for Scotland's economy and our tourism. And I want more of you guys to come and visit Scotland. It's a great wee place. And you will be coming, a lot of you, especially if you're Outlander fans, to visit the Outlander locations, and you'll be thinking, can I do this? And I'm here to tell you, absolutely you can do it. And I'm going to be showing you all the places, the best places I think you should visit, the top 10 places, right here in today's episode. And if you want to check out some related merch, you can even get a t-shirt with my haggis mascot on it. There is a 10% discount code right now on my channel. Just type in Season 5 at checkout and 10% will come off of your basket. That is down in the link below as well. Make sure you check that out. So many people send me messages, send me emails on social media and all that kind of thing, saying, can I come to Scotland and visit the Outlander sites, and how do I do that? There's two ways that you can visit all the Outlander sites in Scotland. The first way is you can hire a car and you can go and visit them all yourself, or take public transport. Those are both really, really good options if you want to do that. As long as you're comfortable driving, probably on a different side of the road from what you're used to, you'll be absolutely fine. Scotland's a good place to drive. There's another very good option though, and that is to book a tour, because there are some very good tour guide companies out there who do Outlander tours, and I would highly recommend Rabbies. I've worked with Rabbies on a number of occasions, creating a lot of videos, right? And there's a link down below to Rabbies and how you can book your tour with them. Very much recommended. They do a great Outlander tour. Anyway, I want to tell you about the top 10 ones and the ones you need to visit if you come to Scotland, alright? The first place I'm going to talk about is BLACKNESS Castle. It appears multiple times in Outlander throughout Season 1 and 2, I believe. Anyway, it is the garrison in Fort William in Outlander. BLACKNESS Castle, just up the River Forth, the top end of the River Forth, not too far from Edinburgh. It's also the scene of a really, really difficult thing to watch actually, which was Jamie getting flogged as he was tied up to that post, and also the place where Jamie's dad died as well. But anyway, it's iconic. You will notice it right away. You will see the whole thing. If you go to BLACKNESS Castle, you will notice exactly where they filmed it. This must be pretty heavy, right? Wonder if I can like take one home with me, like as a souvenir. I can lift it. This is stuff left over from the movie set. How cool is that? One of the rocks in Outlander. BLACKNESS Castle is fascinating. It's got a great history as well. So you'll be there and you'll think about all the Outlander stuff, and you'll want to see all the exact filming locations for Outlander at BLACKNESS Castle, but you'll also be fascinated in the history of the place. Great, great castle to visit. Not too far away, in a place called Fife, the Kingdom of Fife, there is a town called Falkland, a very old looking town with a little square. And if you go to Falkland, you will immediately know where it is if you're an Outlander fan. Because throughout Season 1 and 2, they shot various scenes, and actually Season 3 and 4 as well. Inverness was integral to the story, right from the first episode. Inverness, right? But they didn't actually film it in Inverness because Inverness is quite a modern looking city. Filmed in a little town called Falkland in Fife. Okay, so right from the start of Outlander, we see Claire in Inverness, right? Inverness, which is actually here in Falkland. This is the hotel she stays at. Right here is the fountain where she sees the ghost of Jamie. it just looks old and it fits right with the storyline. But when you go there, you can see all the places. You can go to Mrs. Baird's guest house. What was it called? The Covenanters Inn? I can't remember. Anyway, all the places that appeared in Outlander from the first episode, you can actually visit in Falkland. Still in the Kingdom of Fife, but actually further towards Edinburgh and not that far from the Forth Road Bridge. This is a wee place that when written looks like Culross, but I believe the locals actually call it Cwrys. I could be wrong with that. Anyway, Cwrys. It is a stunning old town, right? And it goes back centuries. And you can see it from the main square, the building, the cobbles on the street. Anyway, in Outlander, they used it for multiple different purposes. They used it as the village that was right next to Castle LEOCH. It's also where Gaelus's house was. It was a place where the boy had his ear nailed to the plinth. And then the town as well, in the graveyard, is also known as the Black Kirk in Outlander. So they used that town for a lot of different purposes, and it's well worth a visit just to look at the beautiful nature of the town as well. The old buildings, great place to visit. Over towards the middle of Scotland, close to Stirling actually, is a place called DUNOON Castle. That is the famous Castle LEOCH from Outlander Season 1 and 2. Absolutely fascinating place, right? I highly recommend all Outlander fans to go to DUNOON Castle. It is stunning, it has got a great history in its own right. Very good place to walk around and learn about Scottish history. And also, I believe this is still the case now, right? But you'll get an audio guide at DUNOON Castle, right? It's the thing that goes in your ears and it tells you all about the stories as you walk around. Usually I don't get them for myself, but actually I listened to the one at DUNOON Castle, and the narrator at DUNOON Castle is none other than Sam Heughan. As you're walking around DUNOON Castle learning about Castle LEOCH, Sam Heughan is the man that's telling you what you're looking at. Very highly recommend you guys going to check that place out. And guys, listen, all these places I'm telling you about and I'm going to tell you about for the rest of this video, the best ones are coming up. All these places I have done videos about on my channel. I'm going to put up a link to a playlist down below where you can check out all of those videos of my tours around Outlander places that you should watch before you come to Scotland. And I'm actually also writing a book about the top places in Scotland you need to visit, and those Outlander locations will be part of that. If you want to find out more about my book, about these locations, about where you need to visit in Scotland, join my mailing list down below and you will be first to know when that's ready to come out. On to the next one, Glencoe. Probably a bit of Rannochmoor as well, but certainly Glencoe. They use that for a lot of various different Highland travel type of purposes in Outlander. Absolutely stunning. It's one of the most beautiful places in Scotland in my opinion when you drive through it, right? But there's lots of scenes of Jamie and Claire there. They actually shot some promotional photographs there. Glencoe is another famous Outlander location, and I just highly recommend, guys, if you're in that area, to go and take a little wander in Glencoe. It's so beautiful, but be prepared for the weather, especially in winter. The next one, guys, right, is something I'm a little bit loath to recommend you guys visit, right? It's called the Devil's Pulpit, but actually was known as St. Ninian's Spring in Outlander. Basically, it's a deep gorge, right? The rock is red sandstone and the water is consequently, I think because of the iron and other stuff, is bright red. Absolutely fascinating, beautiful, incredible location, right? But, as I discovered, very difficult to get down. Like ducking through trees and little canyons and everything just to get into the... This is not an easy place to get down, but we can manage. There's ropes here that you need to hold on to. Now I've got a wet arse. I think there's a rope and some very steep steps which are slippery, and even just to get to that there is mud that comes up to your waist, alright? I found it challenging to get up and down there, and there have been many people who have come a cropper and had to be rescued down there. So I advise this one with very extreme caution, but if you're fit and healthy and you fancy going down there, I would recommend it because it is so gorgeous and unique. Not that far from Glasgow, and I don't think you'll find it on any of the main tourist tours of Outlander at this place, just because of the nature of it. It's dangerous, right? You need to be fit and able to go down there. But, as you will know in Outlander, it appeared when Dougal took Claire to St. Ninian's Spring to drink the water, because legend had it that if she drank the water, she could only tell the truth or she would die. Great episode of Outlander and filmed right there in a beautiful spot. Fascinating place. And again, there's a video of that down in my playlist down below that you need to check out. And I'm going to take you to my hometown now. Very important. Outlander shot various episodes in season 3. Yes, season 3 in Edinburgh city centre, in just off the Royal Mile essentially, because that's where the story was. Jamie was living in Edinburgh, and the close where he set up his print shop, you can actually visit. It really exists. exactly almost as it appeared in the show. And a lot of Outlander fans love visiting the Royal Mile now because of that, because you can actually see the location where they filmed the famous print shop. I will come back to Edinburgh in just a wee moment, very important, but first of all I want to take you back to the west coast, southwest to be precise, DUNOON Castle, which is essentially just a ruin now. DUNOON Castle in the harbour at DUNOON. DUNOON Castle in Outlander was made to look like an island, SELKIE Island, which Jamie famously swam to in season 3. Great scene, and a very beautiful castle that they shot as a backdrop for that, and you can actually visit the exact place where Jamie had the chest, the treasure chest hidden. Clear! I think it was here. The episode where Jamie runs away from ARDSMUIR, swims over to the island, and it's actually this castle here, DUNOON Castle. I could be wrong, but this here looks very suspiciously like the area where the jewels were hidden.
That's where I found the treasure. At least Kerr had been right about that.
It's worth that long drive all the way to the southwest of Scotland just to visit that place because it is incredible and it is exactly how it was in Outlander. Alright, I could not leave this one off, alright? Culloden Battlefield. I'm ashamed to admit this, right? But this is one of the main reasons why I think Outlander is so special and why everybody needs to watch it, especially Scottish people. I had never been or knew basically anything about the Culloden Battlefield before I knew about Outlander. I only went to Culloden because of Outlander, and I'm so glad I did. So glad I learned about it. And they obviously filmed there, it's part of the story. Culloden, the battle, was actually part of the story. And a lot of people, Outlander fans, are actually visiting the Fraser clanstone now. Obviously, that's something that people need to be careful and respectful of because it is an actual burial site. Many thousands of clansmen were buried right there. But it's just such a spiritual place, a very sacred place. And I'm so glad I learned about Culloden and the people who fought and died there, thanks to Outlander. Jamie Fraser. Who's the laird now? Lallybroch. Who could forget Lallybroch? Of course we're going to put Lallybroch in this. Lallybroch is a great location. It's obviously one of the main locations in the show, right? It's called Midhope Castle and it sits within the Hopeton estate, not that far from Edinburgh. In fact, a stone's throw away from Edinburgh's airport. Now I don't have any rope, so I can't show you exactly how it was, but it was something like this. Was he facing this way or was he facing this way? Lallybroch is of course iconic, and a lot of people comment this. I certainly found this when I went for the first time. Lallybroch, when you get to Midhope Castle, looks exactly like it does in real life as it did in the show. Except you can't go inside it. It's abandoned, it's dangerous, you can't go inside. Just from the outside, but it's worth just going to visit for that, right? And a lot of people go there now, and it's controlled by the Hopeton estate, so it's worth checking out with them. And this brings me to my last one, and this is my favourite, I think, right? CRAIGMILLAR Castle in Edinburgh. I mean, this seems like a tour of all the various castles in Scotland, but, you know, they were all, a lot of them featured in Outlander, and CRAIGMILLAR Castle is one of them. CRAIGMILLAR Castle is about 500 metres behind my house. When they were filming season 3 ARDSMUIR Prison episode, because CRAIGMILLAR Castle was ARDSMUIR Prison, when they were filming, I knew they were filming, but I didn't know what Outlander was, so I didn't bother to go and watch it. I didn't bother to go and see Sam. Lord John Grey was there. They were filming very important key scenes at CRAIGMILLAR Castle. I missed out because I didn't know what Outlander was, and it's a great shame. Anyway, ARDSMUIR Prison is CRAIGMILLAR Castle, and is exactly as it did appear in that episode. One of my favourite episodes of all time was there at ARDSMUIR Prison, and it's exactly, like I said, it's exactly like it was in the show, and that's one of the great things about Outlander, is all the places he used in Scotland were exactly as they appear in real life as they do in the show. Yes! Got it in. How about that? And Jamie gets down on his knees. And then Lord John Grey comes to pull the sword and puts it up to his neck. Very easy place to visit. It's a less touristic castle than Edinburgh's main castle, and I would recommend it. Get yourself to CRAIGMILLAR Castle. It's ARDSMUIR Prison in Outlander. You will enjoy that experience, and it has a great history all in its own right. Anyway guys, those are actually one more than I was supposed to give you. I think that was 11 Outlander sites that you can visit in Scotland. You can easily visit on your own, as I said, or you can take a tour, whichever you prefer. I'll tell you about that in the links down below if you want. But do it. Come and visit Scotland if you're an Outlander fan and visit those sites. You will not regret it. Anyway guys, that was today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me for these adventures. It's great to speak to you all as always. Season 5 is around the corner. And until the next adventure, I hope you have a good night, morning, evening, afternoon, or whatever time of day it is wherever you are in the world. Take care.